Hello, and welcome back. Let's see what's happening in the world today. Taiwan reveals first domestically made submarine. Taiwan has unveiled its first domestically developed submarine, which is part of an ambitious project to modernize its armed forces and strengthen its defense and deterrence against the Chinese Navy. The submarine, named Narwhal, is the first of 8 new submarines and will enter service in 2025. The indigenous submarine program has drawn on expertise and technology from several countries, including the United States, which is Taiwan's largest arms supplier. The submarine will use a combat system by Lockheed Martin Corp and carry US-made Mark 48 heavyweight torpedoes. The submarine program is seen as a strategic deterrent that can also help maintain Taiwan's lifeline to the Pacific by keeping ports along Taiwan's eastern coast open. Looks like Taiwan is ramping up their defense perimeter in order to deal with the Chinese threat. Let's see how China takes this in the coming days. Now moving on. 1 in 6 species at risk of extinction in Great Britain. A state of nature report produced by over 60 organizations, including wildlife conservation groups, government agencies and academics, found that 16% of 10,000 mammals, plants, insects, birds and amphibians assessed in Great Britain were threatened. The report highlights that the loss of nature is outpacing investments and effort to tackle it, and that more investment and a shift to much more wildlife-friendly farming and fishing are urgently needed. The report also found that natural spaces and the wildlife that depend on them are in decline. The government has said it is committed to increasing the amount of habitat for nature to thrive and investing in its 30 by 30 pledge to protect 30% of the land for nature by 2030. Looks like a lot of animals are starting to go extinct one by one. This is a very sad event. Let's hope we can work together as a human species to counter this unfortunate circumstance. Next, Swiss glaciers lose 10% of volume in 2 years. Switzerland's glaciers have lost 10% of their volume in the last 2 years, with this year being the second worst melt rate after record losses in 2022. The losses are described as catastrophic and are attributed to low winter snowfall and a warm summer. More than half of the glaciers in the Alps are in Switzerland, where temperatures are rising around twice the global average. The losses have led to new lakes forming next to glacier tongues, streams of meltwater running through ice caves, and bare rock poking out of thinning ice. The remnant ice is becoming covered by rocks and debris, and regions that have been snow and ice covered over the last decades and centuries are becoming just black slopes that are dangerous because of rockfall. If a large amount of ice is melting, looks like sea levels are going to rise. This is a very unprecedented event, and it's something that we as a society have to face in the coming years. The change in global weather patterns is starting to get a bit more severe, and hopefully we can figure out what the hell is going on soon. Next, scientists get closer to solving mystery of antimatter. Scientists have made a discovery about antimatter, which is the opposite of matter and was plentiful when the universe began. The latest study has discovered that antimatter responds to gravity in the same way as matter. During the Big Bang, matter and antimatter should have combined and cancelled each other out, leaving nothing but light. Why they didn't is one of physics' greatest mysteries, and uncovering differences between the two is the key to solving it. The researchers at CERN have now confirmed, with the greatest degree of certainty yet, that antimatter falls downwards, just like matter. The team is upgrading the experiment to make it more sensitive, to see if there is a slight difference in the rate at which antimatter falls, which could answer one of the biggest questions of all: how did the universe come into existence? In my opinion, the universe came into existence because the creator was bored. But we'll wait and see what science has to say. The last news of the day: Coinbase International launches perpetual futures trading. Coinbase International Exchange has received regulatory approval to offer perpetual futures trading to non-US retail customers. The platform already offered crypto derivative services to institutional clients and will now provide eligible customers access to regulated perpetual futures contract on the Coinbase Advanced platform in the coming weeks. The exchange said perpetual futures accounts are maintained by Coinbase Bermuda and regulated by the Bermuda Monetary Authority. Coinbase claimed that nearly 75% of crypto trading volumes comes from the derivative market, and the recent regulatory approval would help retail traders access the crypto derivative market primarily dominated by institutions. Initially, only non-US customers in a few countries can use Coinbase International Exchange at the moment. Looks like Coinbase is starting to make more and more deals outside of the United States. Let's see how this plays out. It's an interesting development because Coinbase might be the first listed company to actually introduce a perpetual derivative platform. Well, Thank you for staying to the end of the video. Please like, share and subscribe. I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.